Hello and welcome to MOBAFIRE TV. My name is Hectik and this is the Tusk guide written by Hades. Tusk is a melee strength hero capable of initiating fights and taking down squishy enemies quick and easy. If played properly, Tusk is fun to play and a pain for the enemy. In this guide, we're going to focus on his semi-carry role. You should pick Tusk if your team needs a semi-carry with burst damage that is able to go into a fight and punch enemies to death. Let's go into his hero skills. Ice Shards. Tusk throws a ball of frost that damages all enemies it comes in contact with. Also, Ice Shards will create a barrier, which means as well as burst damage, it's great for stopping enemies from running away. Now onto Snowball. This is Tusk's funniest skill. Transforming himself and nearby allied units into a snowball, he rolls towards the enemy target. The snowball stuns and damages enemies upon contact, however the ball will disappear after 3 seconds if it doesn't reach its target. Frozen Sigil. This is a skill that is very effective in teamfights as it slows attack and movement speed, making it difficult for enemy units to get away or damage you by auto attacks. This sigil can be killed by enemies and the destroyer will receive 150 gold. Now onto his ultimate, Walrus Punch. This is the skill that deals the higher amount of damage when the enemy is low in health. After you activate it, the next auto attack will proc 3 times critical and stun the enemy for a short while. But if the target is under 50% health, it'll deal 4 times critical. Remember that the skill is an auto attack buff and you have 10 seconds after activation to proc the damage. This skill is great for taking down enemies fast, but keep in mind you can also use it to disable enemies to help your team. So let's go into more depth about his skill build. Your main abilities are Ice Shards and Snowball. You want to max out Ice Shards first because being able to deal heavy damage and stop enemies from escaping early game is great. The next skill you're going to max is Snowball since you'll use it for ganks and it's a nice amount of damage. If you can, take some teammates with you when you gank since you can do a great initiation with multiple heroes using Snowball. Last skill you're going to max is Frozen Sigil, which you'll use in teamfights to make moving and attacking difficult for the enemy team. It has a pretty good slow, so make sure you use it when needed. After all these skills are maxed out, go on and level up stats, and of course at level 6, 11 and 16 level up Walrus Punch. Now let's go into his item build. In early game, start with some regeneration. A tango and a healing salve will be fine along with 3 branches for some stats. You want to get Boots of Speed and Bottle as soon as possible so you can stay in lane without worrying about health or mana. If you have enemy heroes who spam spells on the lane, feel free to get Magic Wand, it will help you a lot. In mid game, you should have your power traits complete. If you feel you're not tanky enough, grab a Bracer, it will help you survive a bit more. Next items you want to get are Drum of Endurance and Shadow Blade. Since you'll have a Bracer, Drum is easy to get, and they'll help you with providing a lot of stats and movement speed. Shadow Blade is a popular pick because it provides you with what you need, damage and attack speed. And also, using the invisibility and bonus damage, you can go invisible and assassinate some squishy helpless heroes using your great skills. Also, a really nice item that Hades enjoys on Tusk is Armlet of Mordigian. It gives you great stats for a relatively low cost. In late game, you'll have many options to go for, but the best for taking down enemies are Desolator and Assault Cuirass. Although if you want to be durable, pick up a Heart of Tarask. Now for some situational items. If you're facing heroes who have evasion, such as Windrunner or any hero with a butterfly, get a Monkey King Bar, which will give you a nice amount of damage, a mini stun, and will also prevent you from missing attacks. If you're having a hard time dealing with enemies with nukes or disables, pick up a Black King Bar or Lincoln Sphere as soon as possible. This will make you more durable and also block spells. If your enemy team has a high physical damage dealer, pick up a Heaven's Halberd to stop them from attacking, or a Blade Mail to return their damage. Now onto his gameplay. In early game you can go on any lane as long as you can farm. That's what you need, a lot of gold to get your items as soon as possible so you can start melting enemies with your Snowball. Any last hit and experience is important, so make sure you're not missing any. Also, don't risk yourself for a kill by going into aggressive. And if you have a support on lane, ask him nicely to get some wards and pull the lane so you can farm safely. In mid game you'll have your core items, so be sure to roam and burst down squishy enemy champions. This way you'll get even more gold and enable your team to push easily while they're in numeric advantage. If the enemy jungle is warded, it should be easy for you to snipe out farming carries and even supports. Also, don't hesitate from taking your team with you to do some fun snowball ganks. In late game, your role is to take down the enemy carry as soon as possible, because if they have no damage dealer, you'll win the fight easily. You can initiate with your team by using the snowball and blocking the enemy inside Ice Shard's barrier. Remember, Ice Shards can guarantee you a kill at any stage of the game if you use it appropriately. Now into some tips and tricks. While you're in Snowball, you and your allies are invulnerable. Walrus Punch can cleave and it can't miss. Ice Shards still form a barrier even if the target is magic immune. Armlet of Mordigian bonus damage works well with Walrus Punch. You can destroy trees with Ice Shards. The Snowball goes up and down cliffs and destroys trees in the path as long as the target is in range. You can do some nice plays using something called the Armlet Toggle trick. This trick is explained in another video which will be linked in the description when available. Once again guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe and comment with feedback or suggestions. Do tell us if you want a particular hero to be covered, and if you want to check out more Dota 2 content, head over to DOTAFire.com. This guide was adapted from a top-rated guide from DOTAFire.com, the link for which will be posted in the description. Feel free to check out our other videos and stay tuned for more content. DOTAFire TV is sponsored by PDP Gaming Hardware,